Happy Wednesday to everyone. Welcome back to the shop. This morning I was up at the field doing a little bit of flying, having a good time. Gonna take my little workbench outside, get everything set up. It's nicer to work outside when it's nice outside because it's a lot of room. So anyway, I'm gonna go upstairs, change into some dirtier clothes, and let's do some work. You know, one of these days, I'm going to learn how to operate this contraption. Just got done talking to you guys for about 10 minutes. So lucky you, you don't have to hear that part. Alright, anyway, here's kind of sort of where I've gotten to today. The mosquitoes, it's 3 o'clock right now, and the mosquitoes have just gotten absolutely brutal out here. Because as soon as the sun crested over the tree and this became a shady area, they came out, and I thought they were going to pick the camera up and take it away for a little bit there. Alright, here is tentatively what I've got done when the camera, the battery ran out, and I have no idea. I'll find out when I edit. But the battery ran out, so I'm just going to do a quick little overcap of what I was working on, because even though there was a little bit of music in this video, I don't know where the high-speed stuff ended. So, I know you probably saw this side where I came in, I sanded this stuff down, I put in a little strengthener here because this little stripy thing, it was too loose. So, and once this got tightened up, you didn't know what it was going to do. It's probably going to want to pull it down taut on this side. So I decided to just put a piece of balsa. So I ripped some, I don't know, probably 3/8 by 1/2 inch strip, epoxied it into place. That little thing isn't going anywhere, so that's solid. What I ended up doing up here was I put these little fills here because there was nothing there before. So I filled that in, so at least it resembles what it should have looked like. I did my little fills down here, and I think you saw that. I just cut those out, filled that in. So this just has the little spackle in there. I'm just doing some little fills in here. There are little holes, and I think it's going to be fine. There was nothing structural that I had to fill here. It was just little teeny holes. So that'll all get sanded out. I filled all these little holes in. That'll get sanded out. Came across the top on this, all the little holes down here, and they're a little teeny, you could kind of see them there, they're little teeny gaps that you just couldn't really fill with wood, so I just, filled them with some spackle. It'll be fine, because that's not what holds this piece on. I ended up just recently putting these little nibs in. They were just cut out pieces of balsa, cut at the angles they need to be at, glued them in place, sanded them down, done. So this is done. I've got to get the underside part of this, and hopefully you can see it from that side. You can see that I have not, let me see, yeah, you might be able to see it. I haven't finished these yet, so I'll do that, because I think this is the worst one. This one's going to be quite a bit of work to get this one done. It's missing a lot of stuff, so so that'll get filled when I get it back in the shop. That'll probably be later on today. And I think I told you, maybe I didn't tell you, I put the wheel on. It's got the tail wheel back on again. And what did I use to attach this with? Little screwy-in thingies. I used 8/32 wood inserts, and that is gonna, see if I can, wow, the back of the plane's heavier now because it's got more weight back here. Right now it's just got some Phillips head screws. I've got some rounded cap screws, black ones that are going to go there. So this one's not properly lined up yet. I just screwed it back together again. I did not do anything with this area. I'm going to box out. I'm going to come in and I'll just make a little box out of balsa. I just want to box this out on both sides so I can get to this if I have to. Because I don't want to have to cut the covering off back here then patch it. So I'm just going to build a little thing, cover it over it, cut a hole, make a little thing, and make a little cover for it, and I'm just going to have one cover on each side, so it'll be real light. So I'm not worried about the weight on that. This is pretty good. I still haven't decided on what type of clevises. I think I'm going to run over to Dubro and pick up the ones that I think I told you earlier in the vid that it's for connecting the upper and lower ailerons on a biplane. I think it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and buy them and see if I can get the rotation out of this from here to here. If I can get that kind of rotation out of those things without any kind of interference, that'll work really good on the top and on the bottom. So that should be good. This piece, the rudder, you saw me earlier where I cut this and put a little teeny wedge in here and got everything straight. I'll come clean, that wasn't straight. I made it worse. So I ended up cutting that out today, but once this all got properly readjusted back to being straight, I made measurements from the front. So this, once again, is dead center on this. So here's where the sides of the aluminum flat bar stock came to this side, you divide it down the middle, and when you measure across, that's right up the middle. So we're good there. So what I did do was I clamped this into place with some plywood, front and back, and then this was cut. I allowed it to relax, and then I put some epoxy together, put some reinforced epoxy in there, and then clamped it. So right now it is straight, and you know, that's pretty, makes me pretty happy. So even though I spent a lot of time working on it today, it doesn't really look like I got much done, but I did. So here's my next little conundrum. Let me get my stool so I can sit down. And all right, hopefully this will come out good and it's just not being shadowed. This arc in real life is not supposed to be here. Not 100% sure on why they put it there. Because it doesn't need to be there. This is just supposed to be flat across the bottom like it is down here. So because I've got a rear exhaust on this one, see, he didn't have, I don't believe, no, the plane's not killing me. It's just still bringing you guys along for the ride. And I got wasps in here now too. Awesome. Alright. This is what he did. He just had it flat across the back, and he had the buck teeth. That's where the he had it. Whoa. I've got the camera wedged on my index finger. Hang on. Ow. Alright. Alright, the way he had this, oh, that's kind of dusty. I don't know where this has been collecting all that dust. The way that he had this on was like this, because the exhaust was up front. He had no way for the hot air to exit. So I think he intentionally cut this out. You can see through. But because my exhaust that I made is going to exit on the back, I'm going to have an opening about this big on the bottom of it. So that way the air comes in, goes right down past the cylinders out. So what I think I'm going to do, and I just need okay, sounds good to me, cut this off on the bottom because I got enough stock. I'll cut the bottom chin of this off, come across, cut it. I just want to make sure that I think if we look on the inside, there's no support down here. So what I can do is I can come on in across, because I got power tools. I can come in across the front of this, and I'll cut this off level. I'll make it so that I can go from the bottom of here to the bottom of here, come straight across level, and then just put in another piece of, because it doesn't have to be, that's probably 3/8. 3/8 would be fine, but I can, because this is a non-structural part down here right now, the way it's set up, it doesn't need to be a structural part because of how this firewall is attached and glued in. It comes down to here. If you can see that, it comes down to here, which is right down here. So if I was able to come in and cut this off, I can glue into the bottom of that tri-stock and come across the bottom, and then I'll put a spruce reinforcer behind it, another piece of tri-stock on the bottom. I'll glue my balsa too. You know what, guys? Thanks for saying, hey, go ahead and do it, because I'm gonna go do it now. All right, that'll be part of the. That'll probably be the part of the next video, or the majority of the next video. So that'll work out good. I can do that one in the shop.